Hey there gamers, I'm Probably Senpai, and welcome to our weekly Dream Snap series, where every Wednesday we check my mail together to see what kind of rank, score, and rewards I got on the previous challenge. Following the reveal, I will show my submission to YouTube for the first time. Today we will be seeing the results from the Trick or Treat challenge. As usual, I'm not too sure what to expect. I took a little bit of a risk on this one and I made my submission indoors. I wanted it to look like Stitch and I had just finished going trick-or-treating and we had like our candy in front of us. So that was the kind of design I went with, whereas a lot of players went the route of taking submissions outdoors in the act of trick-or-treating. With that said, even if my submission doesn't do too great, I am really excited to share it with you guys. And after I share that submission, we'll take our first look at today's brand new Dream Snap challenge, and then I will be voting for 10 submissions from the Something Wicked challenge. And who knows, maybe your submission will show up in today's video. Before we get started with all of this, I would like to encourage each and every one of you to press that like button, as it helps more people discover this channel. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. Lastly, if you enjoy seeing my Dream Snaps designs, or would like to join me as we vote on more Dream Snap submissions, then I'd like to invite you to join our live broadcast on Twitch. I stream Dreamlight Valley Monday through Friday. And now with the plugs out of the way, let's take a look at how we did on the Trick or Treat challenge. Alright, so moment of truth here. Let's take a look at the mail. We'll see what kind of rank and score we got for this one. And here it is. Not the highest score with a 69.98, nice. And we ranked just shy of the top 1,000 with a rank of 1,074. Now, every time I upload these videos, a bunch of you guys are like, how? I have the same rank. That is actually way more common than you would think. If you want to know more about that, just visit my live stream and I can help explain it to you. And for the reward, we were once again able to claim the 4,000 moonstones, which I will happily take. Now that we've seen my score, rank, and rewards, let's take a look at the submission. And here is my Trick or Treat submission. Now, of course, this was an outfit challenge, so we'll start by discussing the outfit. I used the suit we got from the Ursula Dream Bundle. It is one of my favorite outfits in the game, and if you're indoors or around a light source, all of those metal spikes let off these like shines and they glimmer. They just look really good. Now, I know some people may not like the fact that you actually can't see my shoes or pants very well, but if you're familiar with this outfit, then there's not much left to mystery. The costume vibe I was going for here was sort of like a demonic prince. I just thought it would pair well with Stitch's little devil outfit, so I used the villainous horns, the dark wings, some black gloves, and the villainous rose eye patch, which I'll admit I tend to overuse. I did go with a completely different hairstyle on this one, and I darkened my facial hair quite a bit as well. Now that we've discussed the outfit, we'll discuss the setting. One thing I like about this submission was the orange candy bucket. Now, this orange candy bucket is actually the rarest of all the candy buckets because you could only get this one in the Halloween Star Path from 2022. The other two candy buckets by Stitch, you can actually collect by completing Dreamlight tasks around the Halloween season, and I believe you'll be able to collect those any year. And I really wanted to highlight the orange bucket, not just because it's rare, but because it has the signature Halloween colors with orange and black. And the description of this Dream Snap challenge did reference playing up the sweet vibe. Now that we've discussed the candy and the bucket in the foreground, we'll just talk about the rest of the setting here. This is actually in my living room inside of my main home. I just made a few little Halloween additions. I placed a couple of leaf-strewn rugs, a couple of jack-o'-lanterns, and even placed the jack-o'-lantern scarecrow in the back. Aside from that, the rest of this setting is simply my standard living room. One more thing I really liked about this submission was the glow of candlelight behind my avatar. Since the horns are so dark and the wallpaper I use is black as well, they can be really hard to notice if you don't play with the lighting. So having that candle behind me gave the avatar a bit of a silhouette, which just helped everything stand out a little bit better. I was really torn on what to do for my costume, but I ended up feeling very happy with what we submitted. I'd love to know what you think about the Dream Snap in the comments below. And now, let's take a look at this week's brand new challenge. Alright, and here we are. This week's challenge is going to be called Wally's Garden, and this is an outfit challenge that states, spend some quality time with your favorite robot villager and his favorite place, the garden. Now, every once in a while, I get somebody in the comment section that tells me that setting does not matter in an outfit challenge. For those of you that may feel that way, I want to point out that it's pretty clear in the description of this outfit challenge that there is an intended setting. Now, I will say, I believe over time, like 90 to 95% of the player base has really embraced the use of settings and overall composition in the outfit challenges. So I think most people are on the same page. The primary thing we'll be judging is, of course, the outfit, but every Dream Snap challenge is a photo challenge. So you judge the outfit and the setting and how well they work together. I'm not trying to preach to anybody. I'm just trying to help people understand where a majority of the player base is. I hope nobody takes that the wrong way. Now, the mandatory requirements for this challenge is going to be 3 greens, 1 hat, and 3 delicate. Suggested items are going to be brown and calm. These are very interesting mandatory suggestions. I think this is the first time we've seen a hat as mandatory in the history of Dream Snaps. So it looks like everyone will have to have some kind of hat on their head for this one. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And now let's get to the voting segment. In this week's Dream Snap episode, we will be voting for your Something Wicked submissions. Now, in these videos, I vote for 10 submissions to collect all 50 moonstones, but I do a lot more voting than that outside of this video. So if you'd ever like to come watch me vote even more, especially on Wednesdays, feel free to visit my Twitch stream. To recap this challenge, this was a decor challenge, and it states, channel your favorite villain and transform the valley into your very own domain. And before we start voting on these, I really want to say I cannot wait to show you guys my submission for this one. I think it might be one of my favorite Dream Snaps of all time. That doesn't mean it's going to do insanely well, but it's one of the ones I'm most excited to share. So I hope you're here next Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. All right, and here we have our first 2 submissions. Now, I do want to say, you guys, maybe y'all can help me in the comments. In Dreamlight Valley, we are kind of limited on our clothing items. So there's probably going to be several cosplays and costumes that I do not recognize. So if you figure out something that I didn't notice, feel free to let me know in the chat. Starting with the one here on the left, I do like the vibe of their outfit. It's very bandit inspired, it seems, but this was a decor challenge. And it looks to me like they submitted the photo that you take when you finish the Forgotten's poem quest. So with this being a decor challenge, it'll be kind of hard for me to really go with this one. Now looking at this one here on the right, and this is more of what I'm talking about here. This is great. They have the Ursula Dream Bundle suit on. They've got some wings on their back. They have the onyx crown, and they're definitely embracing the villainous, like Ursula vibe. You have Ursula's throne. You have the Little Mermaid bench. You have the glowing stone tablets, the small statue of the eels, the purple chair, and all of those glowing anemones. This looks so good. Very well done to the player on the right. I think they captured this challenge perfectly. All right, and now for our next 2 options, starting with the one here on the left. Now, this is an interesting scene they've built here with the decor. We see that old barrel, we see a broken barrel, they have the Halloween bench, the ancient treasure. But with this being a decor challenge, I feel like they just placed the bare minimum of items, and I'm not too sure who their villain is. Let me know if you guys can pinpoint who they're cosplaying as here. I see the wings, the eye cover, the flight jacket, the camo pants. It's a really fun outfit, but this was a decor challenge. Now, looking at our option on the right, and I feel like we're not gonna see a whole lot of indoor builds on this one, and I feel like we're not gonna see a whole lot of indoor builds on this one, so I'm pretty excited to take a look. Now, what I do like here is right off the bat, I think I know exactly who their favorite villain is, and I believe this is playing as Captain Hook. Let me know if you guys think I'm right. I would have liked the setting more if they built it around like a pirate ship, or if they use like the dinghy. I think they could have taken a really fun route with a Captain Hook inspired build, but it looks like they just kind of chose to take it inside. Maybe this is inside of their pirate ship. I don't know. Maybe this is inside of Prince Eric's ship and they're using it as the pirate ship. This could be like the captain quarters possibly. One thing I do like is that they took the time to scatter about all of these jewels and gems. I see garnets and aquamarine and diamonds and emeralds, and there's also gold ore scattered about. So taking the time to to drop all of those gems and play up the pirate vibe, I think was a really good choice. Now, between these two for me, I think the right one is the obvious choice. It just feels like a lot more thought and time went into the decor. So the right takes it for this one. All right, and next up, we have my man, Scar. Very excited to see Scar here because Scar is who I used for mine. Like I said, I literally can't wait to show it to you guys. I want to show it to you in this video. I want to show it to you so bad, but I don't like to show my dream snaps on YouTube until voting ends. So let's talk about what she did here. We are in the elephant graveyard. We see Scar's home. I see a campfire to the right. There's a chair there. We have Scar's lounging rock. Now the avatar's blocking it, but I can see behind her we have that fish drying rack. And one thing I really like is that she is using the tiny Simba cub light, and Scar is just like giving a little wave. Also behind Scar's lounging rock, I can see the antelope skull there on the ground. Now this is a decor challenge, and sadly there isn't a whole lot of decor in the photo, yet the player still did a really good job telling a story with this submission. Now looking at the one here on the right, and I'm gonna be honest, this is a really cute like Christmas themed dream snap. I know sometimes we see dream snaps from the past, but now I feel like I'm seeing a dream snap from the future. I'm not really getting any villainous vibes from this at all. Let me know if you guys at home are familiar with some kind of Christmas villain that I don't know about. And with this being a decor challenge, all I really see is some greenery. But man, I have to say, her face paint, like this would be like such a cute like outfit kind of design for a December dream snap challenge, I think. Just got a little excited and submitted this one too early. The old premature dream snap submission. Anyway, we're gonna back out of this. Between these two, I think it is safe to say the one on the left is the victor. All right, for our next two, I knew somebody was gonna use Oogie Boogie. I just knew it. I was waiting for it. When I was working towards my submission, I was thinking about what kind of outfits and characters we have access to that can make these dream snap submissions more obvious. And Oogie Boogie is one I just knew we were gonna see. Now this is a decor challenge, so let's talk about the decor. There's not much to say about the outfit because it's just the Oogie Boogie costume. So I think this definitely fits with the challenge theme here. After all, Oogie Boogie is in Halloween Town, and we have a lot of Halloween Town effects behind us here. We have the mayor's vehicle behind my webcam here. We have the Halloween Town arch. We have the iconic hill from the graveyard. And over here by Mother Gothel, I do see an antelope skull. We got a stack of pumpkins. And we have the Nightmare Castle, which is very twisted and distorted, which definitely helps to capture those Tim Burton vibes. Next up is the option here on the right-hand side. And again, not sure who the villain is here. I will say they have a really cute avatar, but I don't know exactly what villain this scene pays homage to. And the items I'm seeing feel like they're placed a little bit at random. Like we have the gargoyle throne and an ice cream cart, and I see pirate treasure behind that. Again, it's always possible that there's something here that I'm missing, and that's on me. It's not the creator's fault. A big positive for this one I can say is that their avatar looks absolutely adorable, but the big drawback is I can't figure out what villain they're paying homage to with this one. So between these two, the one on the left I feel definitely nailed the theme better. All right, and both of these players are going in the same direction, so it's going to be very exciting choosing between these two. Let's take a look. On the left, we have an indoor photo here, and I have to say, the symmetry here is outstanding. Symmetry almost always goes over well in dream snaps. We have the blue beach columns, we have the anemone, we have that purple cushion right in the center, we have the octopus rug, then you have this desk here, and finally, right in the middle on the back wall is Ursula's throne, and the avatar is wearing the outfit from the Ursula Dream Bundle. I also see they decided to use my favorite eye patch. I have to say, I love the way they put together this scene. Beautiful use of symmetry. It's very easy to tell which villain inspired this build. One last note I will say is I love their choice of wallpaper, that under the sea wallpaper and the chandelier perfectly centered there at the top. I'm very fond of this one. It's the best indoor build I think I've seen so far in this challenge. Now looking at our submission here on the right, and we do have some awesome similarities even though this one is actually outdoors. We have Ursula's throne towards the center. We have the anemones, a little bit of symmetry going on with the overgrown thorny pillars on both sides of the throne. Ursula's house is back there in the background, and the photo has a lot of fun lighting with these glowing clams on both sides, and the wicked element coming from the cauldron and the potion shelf. This avatar is also using the outfit from the Ursula Dream Bundle, and she has on the onyx crown. Overall, she did really well with the theme. I can easily tell which villain inspired this build. Now, in my opinion, these are both fantastic, but I can only pick one. After a lot of thought and consideration, I'm gonna go with the one on the left-hand side. A big reason why I want to pick this one is the boldness and confidence of the avatar standing right there at that throne with their hand on their hip with this very menacing expression. To me, this photo is just screaming Ursula. Of course, the one on the right here was as well. It's always tough to choose between two contenders who nailed the theme. All right, now for our next two here on the left, and I really like the vibe of this picture. I think it was really wise to use this filter here as well. And let me know if you guys think I'm right here, but I believe this build is paying homage to Maleficent, and mostly because of the horns and the dress and the use of purples and greens. She has that Venus flytrap right here in the background, which adds some green to this submission. I love the thorny fireplace here, the two chairs, this huge stack of books. This submission just has a really good, cozy, yet wicked appeal. Now, looking at the one on the right, and it looks like it's just a submission to get the 300 moonstones. No wickedness, no villainous attire. So my guess was that this is just a throw-in submission here. I would have loved to have seen a submission to actually judge against this one here on the left because this one is so good, but an easy win is still a win. All right, and now on to our next two. This one here on the left, this is definitely just the photo you take at the end of the Ursula Dream Bundle after you get back Kristoff, Mirabelle, and Gothel's voice. She's wearing a Sally dress, but Sally was not a villain at all. Maybe she submitted this one to pay homage to Ursula, but with this being a decor challenge, and me knowing that this decor was just placed for a quest, unfortunately it makes me feel like there's really a lack of effort, which is totally okay. Some people just want to submit and get those free moonstones. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm simply explaining why I likely won't be voting for it. That's all. It's never my intention to call players out or make them feel bad. I just want to express why I make the choices I make. Next up, we have our option here on the right-hand side, and it is our second Oogie Boogie. And this one certainly does work with the theme. We have a lot of decor from The Nightmare Before Christmas, from Halloween Town, and even some from other themes that fit in with this. We have the mayor's car down here on the right, we have the Halloween Town arch, the iconic hill, the fountain, and then over here on the left, what I really like is we have the Well of Souls, the cauldron, and the gargoyle throne. These are definitely all things I could see kind of fitting in with the vibe for Oogie Boogie. So between these two, the one on the right definitely takes it. All right, on to the next two, starting with this one here on the left. Once again, we see a lot of decor themed around Ursula. Ursula seems to be a very big fan favorite for this challenge. Now, I really want this vanity. I don't have that yet. That looks so cool. We see the purple seat cushion here, the eel statue, the large stage, the throne, the mirror, and behind it all, Ursula's house. I'm not sure why the avatar has Pua. Pua looks really concerned. Like, is he about to be sacrificed? I mean, I don't know. That's, makes me feel a little uncomfortable, but I can respect it. And next up, this one here on the right-hand side, and wow, this is one of the better ones I've seen today. I love the filter they're using to dial down the lighting here. The avatar has on the outfit from the Ursula Dream Bundle. We have the stage, but it's more tucked away in the back, almost as more of a structure or a back wall rather than a stage. We have Ursula's throne towards the center, the glowing anemones, a large glowing clam on the right-hand side. We have the eel statue here, and I love that they used multiple of these little potion shelves back here and just made a wall with them. It's like I know this is outside in the Forgotten Lands, but it feels like we're inside of like a cave, like inside of Ursula's lair, and it's really hard to pull that off outdoors. I have to say, I'm really impressed. I also like the Eric statue here. I hope that's actually Eric turned into stone, or maybe a grave for Eric. I'm not sure what the lore decor here is, but I'm assuming something bad happened. And they get bonus points for that. So between these two, I gotta go with the one on the right. Incredibly well done decor setting. All right, now for our next two, and the one here on the left, they are taking a bit of a dice roll by going with the black and white. But I have to say, it looks really good with the fog. And I believe this is the second Scar-themed submission I've seen today, which warms my cold heart because I absolutely love Scar. And again, I cannot wait to share my Scar submission with you guys next week. Now, I am familiar with that jacket. It does work really well with this challenge, but we can't see the colors due to it being black and white, so let's just talk about the decor here. We have the temple ruins back here, which I know do count for the submission. And then down here at the base, we have this antelope skull. And of course, right here on the right-hand side of the photo, we have the full shot of Scar's home, which looks really good and creepy with this black and white with the fog coming in. If there's one major praise I would like to give to this user, it's the fact that this is really unique. It's always a risk going with black and white and removing the color, but in this case, I think it worked really well. Now, looking at our option on the right, and another nod to everyone's favorite Ursula here. Very heavy on the purple aesthetic here. We have the purple floors, we have the thorny walls here, the thorny bed, thorny wardrobe, thorny fireplace. Of course, they did use Ursula's throne, and they have that round carpet there in front of it, also utilizing some purple lighting in the back, and above me here in the top right, I can see that tentacle chandelier. One thing I'll say about this submission is it does feel a lot more Forgotten theme than Ursula theme. The only stuff that's making me feel like it's Ursula theme would be the stuff right here in this little center section, like the rug, the throne, this nightstand, and this seat cushion. So just this little group of items here. All of the other things in the room definitely give me more of a Forgotten vibe, but that can work with an Ursula build as well, as purple is a common color for the villainous theme. So between these two, it is pretty tough. I really like how unique this one here is on the left, but what I keep reminding myself of here is that this is a decor challenge, and over half of what we see here in this photo is pretty much empty, and the other half is mainly Scar's house. I feel like this one would have just been an instant pick for me if they used some of like the Scar stove or some landscaping tools like the thorny vines or Scar's lounging rock. There are so many ways they could have put more effort into the decor. Now, with that said, I love the fact that they went with that black and white filter. It looks so creepy and very artsy. But when looking at these two, I can just see a lot more of the decor and the overall design on the right-hand side, and they both execute the theme. So we're gonna go with the one here on the right. All right, and here we are ready for our final vote, and I am so excited to share these two with you because these are both really fun and really unique. Now, starting with this one here on the left, I knew right away what they're going for, and they're actually going for a Five Nights at Freddy's theme here. Now, I must say this is going to be a bit of a risk on the user's part because I'm sure not everybody is going to pick up on what the player is doing here. So what made me think that this was a Five Nights at Freddy's reference is, for one, the top hat and the security monitors. And on top of that, over here on the left-hand side, we have this animatronic arm in the workshop. And over here behind me, we have a workbench station with all of these tools and bags and some books. So to me, it is very clear that this is a Five Nights at Freddy's theme Dream Snap. Now, maybe a lot of people will pick up on this because a lot of people have gone to the theater to see the new movie after playing the games for years. Overall, I have to say, I'm just really impressed that the player was able to take these different items and communicate this as well as they did. The fact that I knew it was Five Nights at Freddy's the second I laid eyes on it is honestly a little mind-blowing to me. Now, let's take a look at their competition, and over here on the right-hand side, I think this is a very clear reference to the Grinch. With the holidays quickly approaching, I'm sure a lot of people feel their inner Grinch boiling within once the Christmas tunes start playing the day after Halloween. Now, I love Christmas. I don't really feel like a Grinch. Christmas is great, but at least let me get through Thanksgiving before you start trying to jam it in my face. Anyway, the reason I think this is definitely a nod to the Grinch is because we have the big Christmas tree, we have the Yule goat, we have the menorah over here, and the heavy use of green. We have the green socks, the dark green shirt, the green hair, the green eyeshadow, the green lipstick, the green earrings, and even some hanging green here with the vines. So I think this player did really well with the storytelling. When I looked at this right away, I saw the Christmas tree and the Christmas decor, and I saw the green, and I was like, okay, you're paying homage to the Grinch here. I like it. And now, when looking at both of these side by side, I have to say this is my favorite vote of the entire day. And of course, it's the last one. I feel like the last one is always the best. I'm just in love with the fact that both of these creative individuals stepped way outside of the box for the villain they wanted to highlight. I have to give props to both of these players, as they both stepped well outside of the box, yet were still able to convey a story and an image, allowing us to know who their photos were referencing. Now, I very clearly love both of these, but I'm gonna go with the one here on the left. Communicating the Five Nights at Freddy's vibe, I feel like I'm just really amazed with the scene that they built and how quickly it registers, regardless of how complex it is. And I know what some of you are gonna be saying in the comments, but Senpai, Freddy Fazbear wasn't a villain, he's not evil. Okay, I get that. Freddy Fazbear is not truly evil, therefore he's not truly a villain. His actions were heavily motivated for revenge against his killer, and there's sometimes issues of mistaken identities. There are different versions of Freddy with different motivations, and some of them are redeemable despite their malicious actions. But to be fair, some of them are not, and I do feel like Freddy can slip into the villainous category. But this is a stream about Disney Dreamlight Valley and Dream Snaps, not Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm not gonna get into all of that. I just want to justify my vote, and after that, we're done voting. So there you go. All right, and there you have it, my friends. Another episode of our weekly Dream Snap series has been completed. If you enjoyed today's video, please do me a massive favor and press that like button. And like I said 100 times in this video, I am extremely excited to share my Wicked Dream Snap submission in the next episode. So do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you do not miss it. If you're watching today's video shortly after it's posted, there is a good chance I'm live right now, so feel free to come by the Twitch stream and say hello. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and good luck in your Dream Snaps challenges.